TikTok's getting deleted, so unless something changes, this is gonna be my last video.
TikTok isn't getting deleted from your phone, but here's what's gonna happen.
Hey, I'm Blair Best. Welcome to The Story. Tonight, we're coming to you from TikTok, talking free speech, national security, the influence of social media, and a rare moment when all of the United States Supreme Court justices agreed with each other. Is this app soon to be extinct? It's our big story tonight.
Come Monday, roughly 170 million Americans could lose access to the video sharing app TikTok. It's a case that's come to embody the tension between the U.S. and China and the growing role social media plays in both politics and everyday life. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously upheld a ban on TikTok signed into law by President Biden last year. It requires TikTok, which has a Chinese parent company, to be sold to a non-Chinese company by this Sunday or be banned in the U.S. That's because for Chinese companies under their laws, the Chinese government can access data from private companies. The idea being that the Chinese government is getting enormous amounts of data from Americans through the app. The justices admit that the law does have an effect on free speech and expression, but they think there's a good reason for it, writing in their opinion, quote, an effective ban on a social media platform with 170 million U.S. users certainly burdens those users' expressive activity in a non-trivial way. But essentially, the justices say that they agree that the law was written specifically to target the ownership of TikTok, not the content on the app. They say that even though China claims it does not access TikTok user data, that does not mean they can't or won't. But justices also acknowledge the fact that TikTok is basically new terrain for them. They don't know much about it, and that they should be careful not to, quote, embarrass the future. TikTok posted this response from its official account today.
Rest assured, we will do everything in our power to ensure our platform thrives as your online home for limitless creativity and discovery.
Now, TikTok is not just a place to spend time scrolling. Lots of businesses use it to advertise and sell things, including some local businesses like Seagrape Apothecary and Live PDX.
We have been able to cultivate such an impactful and magical community with the assist of TikTok, and it's going to be a challenge finding ways to connect with like-minded magical folks without that app. We're creative, we're quirky, and we will make it happen, that's fine, but it is complicated and it is challenging, and it is having to toss away something that has been so helpful and supportive for a small business.
I've described it as the great equalizer because it really has helped small people compete with big organizations. You know, and that, I mean, that is everything to me. The big guys got deeper pockets, but sometimes the great equalizers, you know, really help level the playing field.
So how did we get here? It's been a bit of a roller coaster, with lawmakers and presidents, plural, changing their minds. The initial push for a ban began back in 2020, toward the end of then President Trump's first term. He used an executive action to try and force the sale of the app from its Chinese parent company, citing national security concerns. That spurred TikTok to create something called Project Texas. It was an attempt to ease security concerns by separating TikTok's U.S. operations from the Chinese parent company. It didn't work. In April of 2024, Biden signed a bipartisan law that included a provision to force ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, to divest from all U.S. operations or face a nationwide ban. In short, sell the app or get banned. In late December last year, President-elect Donald Trump asked the Supreme Court to pause the ban. He told the court only he has the deal-making expertise, electoral mandate, and political means to save TikTok and address national security concerns. But as we saw today, the court ruled otherwise. Trump said today that the Supreme Court's decision should be respected, but he'll make his own plan for TikTok soon, after he has time to review the situation. Other lawmakers in Congress are now saying they too want to save TikTok, even after voting to approve the ban last year. Democratic Senator Edward Markey introduced the Extend the TikTok Deadline Act after he initially voted for the ban. His bill would extend the deadline to sell. He posted, of course, a TikTok about it today.
Hi, TikTok just had a press conference. We're getting real momentum on stopping the ban on TikTok. On Sunday, I just sent a letter to President Biden with my colleagues, Senator Booker, Senator Van Hollen. We're building momentum to save TikTok. Just keep your voices raised.
Oregon Senator Ron Wyden announced he too was joining the effort this week. He says the ban would limit freedom of speech online, and the law does not protect Americans' data from being sold to China through other means. One local influencer that we spoke with said they feel the same way.
We live in the greatest capitalist economy in the world, but this is inherently a very anti-capitalist thing. So getting rid of whether it's a foreign or domestic company in a free trade capitalist market is a big deal. So for me, I hope that the TikTok ban gets pushed and that we reevaluate, as far as data sharing, data theft, alleged things like that.
Now, others say they're concerned about the political leanings of social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, and Facebook. Meta, which includes Facebook and Instagram in particular, stands to gain new users if the ban goes into effect. And the CEOs of Meta, X, and ByteDance are all expected to be at Trump's inauguration on Monday. So what happens to TikTok in the meantime? There are a couple of possibilities. One, you could still access the app if you have it installed already. It would be taken off any app stores and would stop receiving updates, leading it to slowly become unusable. Option number two is a little more immediate. One attorney for TikTok told the Supreme Court that if the ban is upheld, the app will simply go, quote, dark. So what are your thoughts on TikTok? Do you use it? Are you worried about its ties to China? Let us know. Email the story at kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail 503-226-5090.